Hey everybody, it's your buddy Eric. This is me coming at you with this week's Doomsday Vintage deck lists. We had a nice showing this weekend. Five people made the top 32 of both events. No league or preliminaries, although preliminaries have been not firing as much recently for Vintage because of the lack of a showcase challenge coming up. But besides that, pretty good. We got a first place and a bunch of other good showings. We'll go into that in a bit. But first, let's look at the core. Once again, the noticeable missing card is Demonic Consultation, which was not used by one of the players. Still not entirely sure about that. Like, I'm going to be repeating myself a lot, feels like, but I would definitely cut Necropotence before we go into cutting Consultation. It's just, that win you can get with Thassa's Oracle, and it's just too obvious to me. But they're doing pretty good. In fact, that was the list that got first place in one of the challenges. So, well, first of all, congrats to Clone 9 on doing that. Other than that, we have a fairly standard, set of things. Treasure Cruise is not in everyone's deck this week, nor is actually Watery Grave doesn't even show up, but we'll get into that in a second. But other than that, it's pretty standard. Sideboard is slightly interesting because two Fatal Pushes show up on top of the four Steel Sabotages. Let's go look at the differences between the main decks. So on the five lists, and INF made it twice with exactly the same main list. The side is a little bit different. Their Sunday challenge thing, but so we actually have a lot of changes here because um, Finn decided not to play Philosopher Spell Piercings instead. One more days and two copies of Spell Pierce. Now I can see some metas where this is a good choice. Honestly, it's very powerful against Planeswalkers, obviously, because Flusterstorm cannot touch them. When we were looking at the 4 Karn for Narset world, yeah, I can see Spell Pierce being pretty good. If Oath of Druids is a very popular card, yeah, I think Spell Pierce is pretty powerful. It does nail some cards that, Flusterstorm just cannot touch. But I don't know if we're in that position right now. Now, sixth place is nothing to sneeze at, but depending on your matchups, which I don't know, unfortunately, what Thin plays, since, how great was Spell Pierce? I can't say. Now, Mystical Dispute, yeah, still pretty solid. The extra days can come into play, but the Spell Pierce, I'm just not sure about. If we look closely, we can see everyone else is pretty much on the same page. Three Flusters and Disputes. The only difference is Clone 9, who is still on that very interesting choice of doing opposition agent's main instead of one extra piece of interaction and demonic consultation again missing there. Very, very interesting choice. Treasure Cruise, like I said, was not in everyone's deck. It almost was the Max Magicer. I have to learn what that is. Decided for Portent instead. I think Portent was very interesting at the time that I believe it was discovering that brought everybody on Portent, but I'm not sure if anything other than Treasure Cruise is better right now. But as you can see, it's pretty standard. No water grave whatsoever, an extra island or the fetch land as is usual. All right, let's go look at sideboards. Sideboards are pretty interesting this week, mostly because we have lots of people trying. Well, not the people. I mean, two of the five, and two of the four technically, because INF is dating her twice, trying different things. If you look closely, we can see that Ravenous Trap and Nihil Spellbomb and Tormod's Crypt, actually Miracle Progenitus as well. Lots of graveyard sideboard cards here are showing up. Very, very interesting. Everyone is playing sideboard hate again. I think Dredge, well, Dredge not too much, but definitely Bizarre type decks are a little bit coming back. But Leyline of the Void is obviously the staple, but I'm very interested in the Tormod's Crypt. Obviously, it's free, but it's not turn zero free. And I really would like to see if Clone 9 actually faced any of the, you know, graveyard decks, because that's a very interesting choice. Now, Spellwhelm, of course, does let us grab a card, but we're not playing Urza Saga, so I'm not entirely sure if that, having these cards is that great, because you really want them in the opener or at the right time, which is really hard to get to. Other than that, I mean, Steel Sabotage is the full playset. Everyone has just agreed on that. Then it's just either if you want any more Artifact hate, are you going to play Hercule's Recall or Null Rod? Null Rod does, of course, have the bonus against those blue Tinker decks, especially the ones that play Seal of the Cyanide, because turning off their lands is pretty sweet. Discard Duress comes in a little bit. So still Clone 9 having that one Tasigur. If it works, it works. I'm not going to hate. Another interesting card seeing up is Caracas. Having one of those Nephrite in Thim's deck, I'm just not sure where we want that. I mean, yeah, it works against Lavinia, and I mean, you can turn off Leovold with it, but other than that, I'm just not really sure. Nothing else really special outside of that. Yeah, we have a Pithing Needle, which comes in, I guess, against Bazaar decks, and some people are playing Tabernacles again, so it's quite possible that that is for good reasons. And of course, the Fatal Push, like we said before, is at a full set. So it's very interesting. I'm not sure if everything is, you know, optimal at this point. I think we're really trying to figure out where Doomsday sits in the meta. It's still a powerful deck, but I think everyone's agreed that Tinker or Golo's shops is where you want to be at the moment. And without, you know, a clear goal on our sideboards to keep us safe from those decks, I don't know if we can win as much. But hey, congratulations again to Clone 9 for making first place. And again, good luck to everybody playing in this weekend's challenges.